it was like regular. I think it was like regular bard seduces the boss at the end. Me, an intellectual, seduces the DM. And it's like me, a regular barbarian, uh, smashes the boss in the face. Me, am think good player, smash DM in face.
Fantastic.
Didn't land as well as I'd hoped.
Really?
Oh, that's why my health is not.
I already told you stop.
I am con damaged.
Why is this?
I have no idea if I'm putting this in correctly. Here we go.
Zing.
For some reason, stuff's kind of like running off the page. What is going on here? Like my scroll bar is slightly covering up Zuzu's stuff there. That's weird. It seems to be like the only thing it's covering up, though. Weird. Just need to scoot that over a little bit more, I guess.
Okay, let me take a look at audio levels here.
Check.
Yeah, I think I need to bring you guys up a little bit.
That's useful for a test.
Voulez coucher au revoir. Ce soir.
Oh yeah?
Why are you speaking French?
De nada.
Why are you speaking Spanish?
Ni hao.
Porque!
Pork? What?
Pork, eh?
Pork, eh? Alrighty. Alright, I'm gonna do a quick random roll here, and then whoever I get is gonna give us the synopsis of last time.
Ooh, I'm excited.
I rolled Mr. Havelock again, but that seems unfair because he did it last time. So, Leopold.
The closest to Havelock.
Yeah, I even have a hat too. So, it all works out.
It's all about the hats. It's just like Warhammer. Everybody's got a fucking hat.
I need to know what's up. So, the last time we played, we finally had, in the previous session before that, killed, we walked outside of the tower only to find some kind of thing. Honestly, Leopold probably didn't know what it was even after people explained. But it was a revenant, I believe?
Yeah.
Of someone from Ilix's past. Turns out it was in the servitude of something else, which was basically some kind of punchy zombie lady. Havelock decided to charge her immediately, and we ended up having a bloody fight between us, them, and our fear, because it tried to make us run away. Havelock very quickly got punched in the face, but managed to cleave many of them down. There was a struggle between the Revenant and Ilix and Plea. We ended up killing all of them. Very, very bad. But this was, of course, after they tried to give us a deal, which, of course, we weren't going to take. And now we find that there is apparently some kind of rider going down to Thrushmore with something very important. And we found a very, very creepy poem that just does not bode well, it seems. And we have stopped at Carrion Hill, the city south of Feldgrau, which apparently Havelock is going to attempt to not try to burn down.
Yeah, we got a new letter from A.
Yeah, we did.
Let's see. What else do I have?
We found the pigments. We gave the heart to the werewolf, or what was left of it.
And Plea overcame his lycanthropy. We did not slay the Revenant. The Revenant dissolved into gas, or into shadow or smoke or something like that, and vanished. I think we've done knowledge checks enough to know that the Revenant is most likely going to return.
At some.
Yeah, you know that he's not able to be destroyed.
I think
But
I
I
nat
don't-
20'd him, or one of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
for knowledge?
Somebody nat 20 the Revenant the previous session.
Yep. And until Ilix is dead,
Well,
The
we don't know
Revenant.
that, but
I think we established it. I mean, we
well,
joked about it.
we know that the Revenant won't die until its killer is dead, but we haven't really had that conversation with Ilix.
I think we did. I'm pretty sure that.
I think it was definitely implied. I don't think we actually talked about it. Though.
Because I remember Ilix rolled a knowledge check enough to know that it was a Revenant,
Mhm.
and I know we discussed it openly.
Yes.
Because not Ilix, excuse me, Xenesis made a joke about killing Ilix to get the Revenant to go away,
Right.
Yeah.
and then reviving her.
Okay, I
However, knowledge of the Revenant has been somewhat limited because it is a special undead that you've really only read about in like really obscure tomes.
I don't think we know, a whole lot about it other than
Yeah.
it gonna come back.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. I sounds like everything from last session.
I believe so. Okay. Well then, I don't remember if you guys had started making your way to Carrion Hill. I think you did. I think you
We got
rested.
We
there.
were at the gates.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
We saw it in the distance, and we're like, "Well, fuck!" And then somebody rolled knowledge and
Yeah.
told us about the town.
There was some discussion about Havelock not burning the town down,
Right.
which I'm not sure where we landed on that.
Still in the air, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever got off the ground. I think the joke was that I was like, all right, and just charge the city gates.
Well, Gabby, looks like we got ourselves in a big one this time.
Oh dear, how's the Carrion Crown gang gonna get themselves out of this, Jack? Tune in next week.
Havelock's
Just some
jumped the
good old
General
roll.
Lee over reason and is charging straight at the watchtowers.
I think where we had landed was that we can come back later and cleanse this town, but right now we've got more important fish to fry.
Yeah.
So it's better not to get bogged down.
I think we may have recommended fixing the town, not necessarily like cleansing.
That's what I
it.
said.
You're like,
I don't.
yeah,
understand.
it's like the same thing.
I love you
Yeah,
guys.
fix it. Fix it with fire.
And
If
blood.
it if it moves and shouldn't, WD-4. No.
Duct tape.
If it doesn't move and should, WD-40. If it exists and shouldn't, fire. There is no alternative. And we don't have duct tape or WD-40, so it looks like it's fire. Fire all around.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you could put some duck blood on some strips of cloth and call it duct tape.
I mean, when the blood gets tacky, yeah, probably, but I don't know. I'm not sure about the long-term viability. We're in the weeds.
Yeah, whatever.
We
Trying to
live
help
in
you,
the
man.
weeds, and we occasionally come out to play Pathfinder.
All right.
That's a good. Yeah. Please
Silence,
remind
fools.
Please
We've got-
continue signing away, because that statement doesn't affect him. And says perhaps we should quietly exist in this town as we can.
It would be
Stop for
best to,
supplies, sell some things, and then come back later and attempt to fix their rotten way of life.
Okay.
With fire.
So, I'm gonna assume you guys picked up your horses before you left.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got
Oh,
Mon
we rode
Blazy and
here
I've
on
got
our
Poops.
Yeah.
No Poopsie
Oh
died.
no, Poopsie's dead.
That-
Poopsie
that is
failed the
canon.
death save.
Did not have her on my person.
Oh.
I thought you said you had her in your papoose.
It's on the horse.
His
I,
Poopsie.
we're joking with you anyway.
Yeah.
I thought it was
I mean, I
canon.
guess
Poopsie died in the
I guess-
circle of death.
Guess
Kill the dog.
I didn't have her on me. I bought a small animal cage for her and
Slay
left
the
her
hound.
attached to. I mean, I guess it could be a very large circle of death.
Continent of death. So we approach the gates.
Do you? Well, there's more than one gate, so
Yeah,
where
that's
are
what I
you?
was gonna say. It looks like if we are approaching from the southern portion here, that
Yep.
we've got our choice of two different places.
Either one
we-
pretty much goes into the filth.
Yeah. Ilix will say, perhaps we should take a lesser gate in case the Whispering Way has left watchers behind. Maybe they'll be not paying attention to a smaller entryway.
Do we know about the town we're headed to? Not Carrion
Thrushmoor.
Hill, but what's the other one?
Thrushmoor.
Thrushmoor.
Thrushmoor. Do they also feel similarly unkind toward Pharasma followers?
Give me knowledge local or history for that.
Well, that's not a very good one for me.
I also Thrushmoor. I guess we haven't really determined sort of what Thrushmoor's disposition is, insofar as like is it a town, is it a city, village, other words.
Other words. Yeah. We need a bard desperately in this party.
What?
Okay, so Zenith is
Got
gonna
some
get some
good
information
history.
here, I
Got
think.
some good religion.
I mean, we could all roll it and just get common knowledge, right?
I mean, yeah, you'll know it's Thrushmoor, and it exists.
But would that tell us? Would that give us like, is this like a metropolis? Is this a hamlet?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's what Ilix is curious about.
It's relatively small. You know what? I'm gonna give this information to Zuzu, and
Okay.
let her
Sounds good.
sort it. Let's see. Did I make a handout for Thrushmoor? I did.
I'll try not to vomit words at you guys.
Oh boy.
It's good to have high hopes.
I can only process information in digestible chunks. Vomit chunks don't work.
Well, they're already pre-digested, so it should be easier.
I'm just testing spells, so please don't mind.
You have obviously never tried to digest vomit.
Oh, I have.
Then you should know it's much harder the second
Some of
time.
it was even my own.
I hope it was only ever your own.
God, this is so cool.
Our vomit discussion or the
No,
handout?
the history, I'm pretty sure.
No,
I hope-
I'm just my spells. I'm actually doing a diving into Roll20 improperly inputting shit after I don't know 4 years.
Yay!
Better late than
know.
never.
Yeah, sorry, fams. I am a slow learner. I don't know how I graduated college in time, but I did. Actually, swimming is what got me motivated to
Ah,
graduate.
damn it.
Oh, well,
I hate that Roll20 does that. Well, there you go.
I know the first part that you guys don't know.
I'm not looking at it on purpose.
Well, so
Avoid.
read it all and then figure out how to
Let's-
tell us.
Let's
Don't
put a
just
bunch
read
of crap in. Roll. Roll everything.
Avert.
Oh God, now I
No,
can't.
let's make it harder for her to read. Don't do
Oh.
that. You guys are dicks.
All
Now
right.
she can scroll up,
Are you done
Oh.
spamming? Thanks, fam.
and I can leave it at the bottom.
God.
Drop it on the floor.
I'll add some more.
Started at the bottom. Now it's here.
Mm-hmm. That wild empathy ringing in my ear. Were any of those rolls good? That 21 wasn't too bad. We encounter so few things that could possibly be nice to us that aren't humans. I rarely
I'm
get
gonna-
to use that.
Also, try to identify. Can we do new spellcrafts on those items, or is it one? and done?
Which item? Oh yeah,
have
if it's a
the
new
magical-
day, you can try again.
It is a new day. We
Alright,
have a
that
magical rod and a magical belt.
Oh, the rod. Okay, I'll have to pull that book open.
All right, I'm gonna go roll 2 spellcrafts, one for rod, one for. Okay,
Oh, okay.
probably.
Oh, we got the odds. Don't look it up.
What are the odds?
Mm.
About 5%.
Yeah, literally.
Let's see. I believe these were from Vrood's person, correct?
I do believe so.
Okay, so which roll is which?
Rod first, belt second.
Okay, belt is still... Actually, I have to give you incorrect knowledge on that one, don't I? Okay, so the first one you easily identify as a lesser silent metamagic rod.
Oh, was
um,
Rude carrying?
That's how he was casting
Yeah.
spells while invisible.
Well, without us hearing him.
The belt, however, was he wearing the belt? Let's see.
Well, we got a nat 1 on that.
I thought the
Unless
belt
somebody else
was.
rolled.
I
Yeah,
know,
so
but
it
I
was
have to
belt
identify
salvage.
what it is before I tell you what it isn't, and then Havelock believes it.
Belt of am good constitution.
Oh, I think the belt was actually off of Acretia.
Yeah. The white lady.
Let's see, armory.
Zombie ninja. Zombie monk.
Yes. Let's see, gear. Oh yes, of course. Okay. Well, you know that that is a belt of Dex +2.
Probably give that to Ple. I don't know what his dex is, but I'm sure he could use it.
I already have a belt.
Belt of incredible
Yeah.
dexterity
So-
+2.
Okay, well, Plee puts on the belt of incredible dexterity +2, or at least what he's told is the belt of incredible dexterity +2.
Your skin
what
erupts
else?
into boils, and I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You
Just kidding. It's only your face.
you don't feel more dexterous. It's weird.
I look at Havelock and I sign. I don't feel more dexterous from this belt. I don't think you got it right. I take it off and put my belt of tumbling back on, and say.
I
"Perhaps
say,
we can
I
find
say,
someone better at magic than you."
I put the belt on and I go, of course it is. Check this out.
So what are you doing acrobatics over? Like in the city?
Just on the ground.
Okay.
Just trying to do a standing backflip.
You do like a hardcore parkour, like 40-year-old man.
Okay, so I assume this is like on the way to the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're like walking up.
Yeah, well,
So Havelock tries to do a front flip, and he doesn't make it a full like 360 degrees. He only makes it like 120, and he fucking knees this tree, and he just shatters the bark. Like it fucking breaks open.
He looks at Havelock and signs. Now this is even less believable. Take that shit off before it hurts you. I hand it to Xenesis.
I can't breathe.
I hand it to Xenesis and say,
Thanks.
Was that the
"Perhaps
gray
your
plate?
magical skill is better
Yeah.
than Havelock's."
Yeah. Let's see. I'm supposed to detect it.
Perhaps you
Spellcraft.
should leave
Spellcraft.
your athletics to those of us more to quickness on their feet.
Please gives
yeah.
Ilix a high five, but like he does it in a way that's silent. Like
Yeah, we
I should have just
we do
taken
the
a
air
10,
we do the
right?
air five, and then
Oh,
Ilix will help Havelock up.
I was
I don't
gonna.
think a 17's gonna work.
I throw my sword just to prove the point, and I fucking like throw it over Ilix's head so it like sticks in the tree behind her.
Well, I'm not 100% sure what this contraption does, but I do know a little bit of history on this town we're traveling in.
It's a belt that we're
do
examining.
tell us about. I signed to Xenesis. Well, actually, I guess first question: does Xenesis know anything about the belt?
She
Did it
sure
say-
doesn't.
Yeah.
She knows that it's not a belt of dex.
I can tell you it is
Probably she's
not
arcane.
a belt of dexterity or what. You can't do flips and tricks and it'll help you. I'm sorry. You just gotta rely on your natural born skills.
We'll have to find someone who's better at
What are-
magic to
what are
identify
those?
this for us. Ilix does a backflip.
But yeah,
Havelock stands up and walks over and pulls his sword out of the tree and just looks at Ilix and goes, "Show up."
Yeah,
You'll want to
please
talk.
signs to Xenesis, who keeps being interrupted by Havelock's antics, and says continue.
Havelock interrupts Plea trying to interrupt his antic and gives him a very passive aggressive monologue.
Let's
well,
please.
She can
Children.
talk if she wants
yeah.
to.
So yeah, this town, it used to be a nice, thriving fishing place, and it kind of went sour. And now it's more these people really care about their looks and their family, and they try not to. I guess they're very fearful of embarrassment. So I guess we should be courteous when we speak to them. Try not to show off their weak points.
I think that
Okay.
might be difficult with us.
Yeah,
Well,
and
that's not this town. That's the one we're heading toward.
Oh,
yeah,
Thrushmoor?
it's
Oh,
Thrushmoor.
okay.
Yeah,
I was about to
sorry.
say.
Yeah, we are heading to
Okay.
Thrushmoor,
Yeah.
which yeah, yeah, but they watch out for pirates. They are kind of thriving right now in this town, and oh yes, there's been a lot of failed attempts in a revolution here. So it seems like to be a very broken town.
Please signs to Havelock. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a swashbuckling pirate.
At any
You
rate,
know.
the town sounds like it might be easy for our quarry to get lost in if there's that much
Mhm.
upheaval.
Well,
But a big part is that religion. So they do still have daily devotions to Pharasma. So that I think we'll fit in pretty well.
Well,
Better than
you know more than that though.
that's all she told us, dude.
So if they
You're missing the part before that. Yes. Yes, but you're okay. So you're not pressing your press to talk button, so they can't hear you. But the thing that you're leaving out is that they're kind of like modern day Christians in that they worship Pharasma, but only in appearance.
Oh, okay. Did you yeah. So they're fake people, but they also are very critical.
They worship Pharasma only to keep up appearances with their
Yeah.
neighbors. They care more about their seating in church than they do the actual belief structure.
So they're Southern Baptists of Pharasma.
Ding 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 ding.
Well, I didn't know how to say that in story, so
That's
and
okay.
I'm also trying my best not to read verbatim what it says because that's
Yeah.
what Chris just said. So I hope I didn't. I mean,
Sounds like you
Chris
just
obviously.
missed a butt somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I never miss a butt.
So I think Havelock has his great sword sheathed, and he's just standing there fucking kirking out. He's like, and it just bursts into flame, even though he hasn't even fucking equipped it.
Havelock, this is not going to help us.
Please signs to Havelock and says, "That's the next town. This time you're gonna have your own conniption in. Let's try to keep it in until we sell all the stuff in the bag of holding, get some rest, get some food for the horses."
Yes, if you feel the
Okay.
need, we can leave you outside and you can sit under a tree until the adults have finished their business.
So that was all Thrushmore, then, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So I don't think it's a town we want to stay in. That's for sure.
I don't think we'll have a choice.
Out of character, can you guys remind me why we were heading to Thrushmore? Like,
That's where
The,
this
the riders
rider-
carrying
The
a variety of
messenger.
artifacts.
Oh yeah.
gotcha. Thanks.
To remind you, they had the heart. They had a vial of gray swirling liquid. They had the sea sage effigy that was stolen from Lepistad, and then they had a crown made of really brittle bones.
Heart, vial, effigy, crown.
He looks over at Leopold and walks up to him and taps him on the shoulder, and says, "Before we get into the town proper, do you mind seeing if you can open this chest?" And he pulls out this locked chest out of the bag of holding that we had picked up.
I cast guidance on Leopold.
I don't think he's going to
Alright,
pick it. I think he's going to blow it up.
Well, it's
I
still
mean,
a plus
Quote unquote.
I mean,
blow it up.
Yeah.
Does guidance count
guidance-
towards?
one. Attack, does it?
Everything.
It's an attack
Yeah.
roll.
Okay,
That's
Guidance
everything.
is plus one.
good.
Plus
Blow
one
it up.
on one thing. Any one
Mhm.
thing you want.
Mhm.
Well,
I
give it a
do
shot.
Ranger's Council, but I don't think that's only for skill checks. So
Oh yeah, you guys
So-
haven't opened the chest.
Yep.
I
I use a grit point. I don't know what kind of lock is on this chest, but basically, if I hit the AC of that lock, it is.
Well, I have the DC here, and based off of that, I would say it is an extremely good lock.
So hang on. It
It is a good
Blast
lock.
lock.
It is good quality.
is considered a good lock. Has a plus 20 bonus to AC.
they're
A
big boys,
diminu-
Brent.
Given a diminutive lock has an AC of 7, and that is the first lock. A plus 20 bonus to AC would mean 27. And with the plus 1 from guidance, that means my shot is a 32.
Yep. All right, let me see if you damage anything inside the chest.
It's just the lock.
You're shooting a
So-
chest.
Well, no, it's a feature that he spends a grit to
Mhm.
blow locks.
Yeah.
Right there.
Does it say that nothing inside is damaged? Does it say anything about nothing adjacent to the lock being damaged?
On a hit, the lock is destroyed and the object can be opened as if it were on lock. On a miss, the lock is destroyed and is jammed shut until it can be unlocked by successfully performing.
As though
it
it
can
were
be
unlocked. Okay, that's...
I mean, it's one of the things that the grit can. I have to spend one of mine to do it.
Alright.
You're talking to the man who can spend a grit to ricochet a bullet and hit someone he can't see.
And you're talking to literal God.
Fair enough.
But anyway. Yeah, so you very carefully and surgically, I don't know, shoot the bullet slower or some shit so it doesn't pierce the chest. I don't fucking
Probably
know.
fires at he probably
At an
like
angle.
underneath and like fires up towards the lid, if anything.
Oh,
That would
yeah?
be-
That would work.
I would
Yeah.
think that would be the most
So-
logical way were I to do that.
So the chest is ruined, but you can open it.
Yeah.
Okay. Inside.
Boy, hopefully there's not like a
You
trap on
find 50 pounds of silver dust,
Cool. Make some bullets,
which I guess
man.
are in bags, and that's worth 250 gold. There are 2,000 gold pieces worth of onyx gemstones. And there is a scroll that is in a plain leather scroll case. Yeah,
Onyx.
How much gold worth of gemstones did you say?
2,000 gold worth.
Okay.
And
And then
if somebody wants to give me knowledge arcana, this might
Yeah.
stir up some recognition for you.
I think I know what it is.
these look
Fuck.
like the ingredients to a spell. Do you or Havelock know what this is? Please signs to his friends.
This is like a bath bomb where you just sprinkle it in and roll all over.
I like that explanation a lot.
50 pounds of silver. This seems like a few bath bombs. Also, what
Mhm.
is a bath bomb?
It, you
Do you
know,
not
I
believe in the Riddler like
It helps
normal
with
people?
lycanthropy.
Isn't that what? No, I guess.
it's like when you make
when
bubbles
you-
in the water.
Yes. I
So
think Havelock told me that's what it is when you fart in the tub.
Oh, I see. I don't fart.
well, I don't
Felix
think
gives you
that-
like you can't lie to this nose.
He says it jokingly because he actually can't lie. So
you can't lie.
the reason I have a vow of how many times do I have to I have a vow of silence because before I took my vow of silence, I took a vow of truth.
So like the
No.
third time you've mentioned it in like 2 years.
Oh no, he talks about it pretty
I say
commonly.
it almost every single session. I feel like.
I think he literally mentioned it at the last session at one point.
Anyway,
So that was the complete.
Havelock, do you
Yes.
want to give knowledge arcana on this?
Sure. I just was checking my YPCG and I just saw that I had selected knock when we leveled up as of my bonus level 2 spell.
Like a
I'm
doctor?
sorry.
Oh, like Google
Well,
Docs.
Knock. Canuck. Not.
Well, that's
doc. It sounded like
you still
doc.
have to hit a DC
Oh.
spellcaster
Yeah.
DC when you do it.
Well, not the greatest roll.
Woof.
Nope. You
I
recognize that they're probably the ingredients for a spell, but you don't know which one.
I hand the scroll over to Xenesis and Havelock to identify.
What ingredients are they?
50 pounds of silver dust and 2,000 gold worth of onyx gemstones and a
Is
scroll.
that
All right,
spellcraft?
I'm gonna roll religion
Okay.
on that as well. Oh god damn it!
Wow, they're just a flowing tonight, aren't
Apparently.
Because you mentioned religion, I'm gonna roll it. Jesus
Oh,
Christ!
Jesus Christ. Fuck.
No
Alright.
way!
Alright.
What the
Party is
fucking?
completely
okay.
useless.
Do we just fucking collapse into a black hole of
I
incompetence?
feel like Flea and Leopold look on as their party has a stroke in front of their eyes.
We all just stand there for
Clearly
like
this
5
is
minutes,
stuff
nothing
that you
happening.
sprinkle into a bath.
Everybody's like staring off into the distance, thinking thoughtfully about absolutely nothing.
Oh my
Whatever
God.
these things are, the gods do not want us to know about them.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
here's the thing. We had already when we were in the Broken Moon tower thing, we had found items on a cultist that included, I'm pretty sure, onyx gemstones, and I had identified those as being an element of a necromantic spell.
That's what I was thinking, but I couldn't remember if it was this game or another one.
It was this one. That's why I rolled that. But I 3 nat ones in a row.
Yeah. It's
Identifying
not
a
meant to be.
scroll is usually spellcraft.
Correct.
So maybe try your luck at identifying the magic scroll that was included with these items.
Spellcraft?
Woof.
If 2 more nat ones come up, fuck.
Wow.
Wow. Stop.
Am I cursed?
Roll
I'm gonna
20.
We're
restart
all
my
cursed.
PC, dude. What is even happening?
Welcome to book 4, boys and girls.
Jesus.
Cthulhu is
Okay,
not
so-
pleased with you.
That's the problem. Like this book comes with like an adjustment to the random number generator. You can't like 50% of rolls are nat ones
Oh my god.
or
So far,
75.
I was gonna say, so far, it's significantly more than. Oh god.
Yeah, my
Half
the time
sidebar
you
is
fail all
fucking
the time.
bleeding, dude.
I rolled a 2. I was so close to rolling a 1.
The spirit of
that-
Carrick is reaching through the void
One,
and
two, one,
affecting
one,
us.
1, 7, 1.
That is a 1 in 160,000 change.
Yeah.
Woof. Okay.
Well,
Okay. We don't
I-
identify the scroll.
Never tell me the
nope.
odds.
Should we share this to the subreddit? Never tell me the odds.
Yeah.
Perhaps we can find somebody in this this
Yes,
ill-begotten town to identify this.
maybe someone who can identify this belt and the scroll might be willing to purchase them off of us as well.
Maybe
Town is
these
large enough. We'll
pretentious
find
people
someone.
can help us.
Oh, that's Thrushmore.
That's Rushmore.
Oh, well.
This is Carrion Hill.
Oh, never mind.
Here they resurrect or people
They are
donate their
probably
body.
there are probably pretentious people too, though.
Yes.
But
Reminder for Zoo. Here they animate you can donate your body so that after you die.
Yeah,
you
Oh
get
yeah, they can work
reanimated
in the
as
mine.
that's like being an organ
Right.
donor, except
Mm-hmm.
way
Better
better.
body donor.
so I think probably over the course of this we make our way up to this first bridge.
Okay.
And I'm gonna look. Do we have enough of like a height advantage that we can see if this looks like a less guarded entrance down this way, or would we
I
need
don't
to
think so.
continue?
Because you're going to
Okay.
be on much lower ground than Carrion Hill, which is basically like a giant fucking wart.
Yeah. I just didn't know if this sort of it looks like this is. I don't know.
There's
Okay,
sort
I
of
guess
buildings
this is a little
obscuring
more
your
leverage
view.
then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll turn to the group. So should we enter here, or should we aim for the district further down?
Going here.
I think here is fine. Maybe the district might have more people.
I signed to Ilix that if A wanted to follow us, he seems more than capable of following us.
Fair enough.
So and this town does not seem to be friends to Pharasma, so perhaps we should just be quiet as it is, and it doesn't matter which way we go.
Perhaps it would be best for the three of you to hide any symbols, such as we don't draw attention to ourselves unnecessarily.
Hide in symbol.
Don't
I
like
pull
it.
out my
Not
holy
asking you to.
symbol.
I understand. I wouldn't want to myself, but it may speed us on our way.
Yeah, Plea doesn't have any holy symbols, so he can just follow us. And we
Havelock
attempt to go in.
Definitely does, but
I don't think anyone's gonna mess with like a powerful looking Inquisitor of Pharasma.
yeah, Inquisitor.
you're
I
not-
think
as long as you're
he's
not
gonna go
accustomed to
for
roll.
the intimidation angle.
Yeah,
Mhm.
roll some more one.
Don't
That's
ever
not-
say
I'm
that
kidding.
ever
I
again,
don't
Zoo.
want that.
I can't knock on wood enough.
Right.
I threw one out just to see. Okay. So, well, shall we carry on?
Agreed.
Carry on.
Haha.
Right.
Plea gives
so-
Xenesis finger guns. And like that really weird smile that like Flynn Rider does in Entangled.
I give her finger
Mhm.
swords.
Don't know what that is. And so Ilix will make her way
Is that basically
across
dabbing?
the bridge.
The guards are like, and you're gone. That's it. Like as soon as he dabs, he's just kicked out of the town.
No,
Not-
Havelock dab.
not you,
Havelock did
not you.
finger swords, which is like dabbing.
So yep.
Okay.
I will approach the gates of the city.
Okay. The gates are presently open and people are moving to and from relatively freely. You do see some guards dressed in black feathers, just sort of standing guard and watching people walk past.
I would like to roll a perception to see if they like take particular note of us, or if I see anything like shifty.
Okay.
Uh,
There we
Yeah.
go. The Yoda fall.
You feel like you're in the clear so far.
cool. So I will lead us through the gates, and I guess sort of towards maybe this main intersection. Just past the gates, and turn on the party and say, well, where do we go first?
Hold up.
Okay.
So I think they do notice the Inquisitor because he's not really hiding himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
If anything, he's almost presenting.
Yep.
Dicks out at all times. Didn't you link that video of the guy who's like, I love you, Jesus?
Yeah.
Fucking yeah.
Sword of truth, shield
Yeah.
of faith. Like he literally says shield of faith
Perfect.
and sword of truth or some shit. All right. I'm gonna match eyes with them as they're looking at me, and I'm gonna sense mode of them
So
probably.
I think he lets Ilix and Leopold both walk past with no issue. But as you approach, the guards tell you, "Oh, hold up there, Inquisitor."
I stop and stare at them. What's the problem?
What's your business here?
I'm a traveler on the road. Surely you're familiar with the duties of an Inquisitor of Pharasma, are you?
Well, they're not exactly loved here. And the guards behind him both kind of laugh.
Does this town look kind of ramshackle?
The part where
Or-
you are entering does, yes.
Yeah. All right. I wave at the gate in the nearby surrounding, and I would say, seems to me the feeling is quite.
Yeah, you cut out there. What were you saying?
Seems to me that the feeling is mutual.
I don't know. We make pretty good money. He gestures up to the crown, which is on top of the hill, and it actually looks pretty nice up there.
If you can see Ilix, she sort of gives you a subtle like, no.
Ixnay talking to.
A golden facade is a golden facade hiding a rotten core does not make one more virtuous. I'm not being hostile.
But you're
Calm your
kind of-
tits.
kind of. I feel like it's slightly offensive because
Hey,
you're
let's
offending
play
the
it out.
crown.
Let's
Yeah.
play it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me think of how to reply to that now because I got distracted. Well, listen here, man. You know, we make a good living here, and Pharasma wouldn't let us do these things. And I think you'd be hard pressed to convince anyone in this town that their way of life is wrong. We don't hurt anybody.
Havelock draws in a breath and catches Ilix's look and just kind of slowly lets it out. And he says, I suppose there are more important enemies of the faith to occupy my attention without needing to cause any trouble here.
I see.
A
Well,
disturbance, I should say, instead of trouble.
he walks over to you somewhat casually and leans in kind of uncomfortably close to you and holds out a hand and he says, "I could be persuaded."
What is he like? All right, I'll sense to play it out.
It seems like he's
Yes.
implying that he would accept a bribe to look the other way.
I look down at his hand, and my jaw is just like clenching and unclenching really hard, and I look like I'm probably preparing to speak.
Plee walks up
Ilix-
behind him,
Yeah.
puts a
Ilix-
coin in the guard's a gold coin in the guard's hand, and signs to Havelock. Let's be on our way.
Actually, why don't you give me sleight of hand on that?
I wasn't even sleight of handing.
I just want you to.
Okay.
He's like reaching through the back of Havelock's cloak and like pushing his hand out.
Where you go,
It looks
buddy?
like mine.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he notices that you give him the coin instead of Havelock, but he does turn to you and he nods, and he says, "I didn't see anything," and he starts walking away.
And Plea gives Havelock's boots a little bit of a kick.
Havelock moves on at the behest of his companion, but he doesn't look happy about it.
Yeah.
As they're walking, Plea starts signing to Havelock, who I anticipate would actually probably sign back. But that's up to you. But says like it's not even worth wasting your time talking to the people here if you can avoid it.
And
Those enemies of the faith seem to deserve quite a stern talking to, please.
Zenith says you slip by without any trouble.
Sweet. I'm
Discretion.
just a gorgeous
Discretion
elf with
before
long
valor.
silver hair.
For now.
Tolerance and flexibility is the reason this town has fallen into such a sorry state.
Others didn't plan on coming back.
Others didn't plan on coming
Yeah,
back?
like what I mean to say is like those people like they bent and then moved on. Like you're bending, but you're gonna spring back.
Indeed. It is paramount to cleanse this town, to purify this town. Behind this clean and gleaming facade, I can tell it is indeed rotten to the core, as so clearly demonstrated by those guardsmen.
I think the fact that this town is literally called a wart, I don't think it's clean or clean.
Yeah. Well, if you remember, the Carrion Hill is several centuries of cities built on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that just looks great.
Yeah, that's like a gross Venice.
Yeah. This looks like
Venice.
Bogenhofen.
Bagenhofen.
Yeah, Plea starts heading, I guess, to the stables to stable the horses and
Yeah. Ilix will ask someone on the street if they can direct us to what the marketplace is, and that we can offload some of our goods.
Okay. Give me a diplomacy.
Ooh.
Whew, that teetered on the one there for a second.
It did. It did.
That was spicy.
If it's letting me know it's still watching.
Yes.
The shadow over Carrion Hill.
I could assist him, but
Yeah, sure. Just follow the stink up the road. And he points, and you can kind of see like almost like a green fog, kind of rolling up the street.
oh, good.
Ah, I see. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem.
I think we've met this guy before.
Maybe.
No, wasn't he the fucking...
He's
Those-
the gardener.
Those marsh folks.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
gardener.
Yeah.
There's also the marsh people. No, there was
Yeah.
also like I end up
Yeah,
that bad.
I don't know about no dang foreigners.
Put that Earl on my scrap meow.
Yeah.
This scrap meow with a floppy newbie.
oh my god.
I
No,
guess
horrible.
I guess I'll ask someone too. I'll approach someone who doesn't look like that guy. Maybe someone who has all of his teeth. And I'll ask, is there anyone around
Funnily
here?
enough, nobody has all of their teeth here.
Ah, shit. Well, I can't talk to them.
I can't
Just
talk to I can only talk to people who have all of their teeth.
Are you one? Are you one? You like grabbing them by the head, forcing their
Open.
mouth open?
Just like reaching
I
into
just
their...
I just ask if there's any magic shops in town.
Yeah.
Is there-
Yeah, they give you the same directions.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he was like, go
In the
jump in
same
the
voice?
stink river.
No, he's literally just saying that
No.
this town is stinky.
Yep. So we offload the horses at a stable. Do we have a stabling fee or anything like that?
Yeah. Let me look that up. Actually, you look it up. I'm lazy.
I will look it up.
I'm slowly corrupting him. I lean over to Leopold as we head toward the market, and I say, "I don't believe there's a single person in this entire city that hasn't been kicked in the head by a mule at least 5 times."
5
Yeah, would-
silver
Some
pieces
people certainly don't
per
learn
day.
from their mistakes, like those that throw their swords.
Hey, the last time I did it was good.
Yes, it nearly cleft my head in twain. I was there.
Nearly being the operative word. my
It's
dear
one gold for every 2 days.
Okay. So you guys do find your way to the market eventually. And it's about as bustling as you would expect for a city of this size at this time of day. Nothing's really unusual here. This is a pretty
standard market.
pretty run-of-the-mill market. The people look pretty normal. There's your normal peasants that are dirty and like begging on corners or like maybe stealing bread. But beyond that, it's just a regular everyday market. You can find anything that you are looking for that fits within your price range.
I am curious if we can find someone who is experienced with magic in this market, magical items specifically. Because we have
That's
a dark-
probably likely, given that necromancy is like commonplace.
common. Yeah, and we rolled a nat 20 on
I-
perception, so
Oh, yeah.
Mostly, I was looking out for pickpockets, just because bustling market, and apparently I can identify pickpockets that aren't even pickpocketing right now.
Oh yeah, you're fucking clairvoyant. So were you not looking for a magic shop with that roll?
Maybe because I rolled a nat 20, I see at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
Yeah.
find Irving's Wands and Wizardry.
There, up ahead.
I bring one of my talking friends with me and go inside and take out the belt and the scroll that we haven't identified.
All right.
I can be that person if you'd like.
Plee nods
Okay.
towards Ilix.
I'm not
and-
super diplomatic, but I can
Okay.
I can use
Ooh.
words good.
I will try to help and assist because I am very diplomatic.
Well, you should probably be the one that does the rolls then.
So yeah, just we'll walk
Yeah.
in.
I go in and sign towards Xenesis, and ask her if she doesn't mind asking the shopkeep if he is able to identify these items.
So there's no one standing at the table or like the front counter at the
I
moment.
knock on the counter wood. Hello? Is anyone here?
In the back, you hear like a ah.
You okay?
Yes, I'll be there in a minute.
Okay, we have time. No rush.
Give me diplomacy for that.
Sweet.
I
Nice.
can't assist on that because it's a talking roll.
Okay, so a few moments later, a pretty average-looking guy comes out, but his across one side of his face is like a bunch of soot from a recent explosion.
Jesus, comedy
Hi.
explosion.
I see that's not your usual look.
Oh, what, this? No, this is pretty typical. How can I help you?
Oh, well, we have some magical items that my party and I are having quite some trouble identifying. We were wondering if we could use your skills and knowledge to help us figure out what these are. And then I gesture to Ilix, who might hand over the.
I hand the items to
Okay.
this and then sign and say we'd be willing to offer a stipend for his experience.
I don't know. So my friend here, Plea, he's saying that we will offer some money for your help.
I see. Well, let me take a look at what you got here.
So it's that belt and then the scroll that was in the chest.
Okay.
Mhm. What about the? Do we need to know what the silver dust does?
Well, I mean, no.
Let me
Silver dust is silver dust.
Let me find out if he's an honest guy.
Ooh, that's like a sense motive, yeah. Okay, Chris gave me a look over like a are you medying? And I
Well,
told
even
him
if
no.
you looked, I mean, you don't know what I'm doing with my dice over here. I'm just rolling shit to fuck with you.
I know, but your eyebrows are raised in a very mischievous manner.
You're not wrong. Okay. So, he is going to look over the items given, which I think was the belt and what else?
The scroll that was in the chest.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so the scroll is pretty easy for him to identify as a scroll of control undead,
Ooh, cool.
and he
Okay.
says you could get pretty good money for that here.
Cool. Thank you.
And then he takes a look at the belt for a little while, and he says, "Well, I think you got a. Well, this is most likely going to help people be pretty strong at hauling big loads. Um,
Oh my.
should bolster one's strength pretty well, I would say."
So something like bull strength? Is that what you're?
Oh, not as such. Nothing so crude.
Belt
Oh.
of giant strength.
Yes. Yes,
Ah.
I believe you could call it that.
And suddenly I notice it looks like the belt that I'm wearing.
Oh my
So
god.
if we want to know if he's telling the truth, is it rude to sense motive in front of him?
No.
Well, sense motive is not like it's not a spell that you cast. It's like
Are
Oh.
you
your
lying to me?
intuition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Havelock, you're not like looking for the best place to start a fire or anything, are you?
No, but I do think that Havelock has opted to avoid being the face of the party in this city,
Yeah.
recognizing that he's very likely to come into to be more disruptive in that capacity. There's only a certain level of shit that he's willing to take.
Right.
Before
I think
some
Alex
heads
is,
have to roll.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ilix is keeping an eye on you, not like reproachfully, but mostly as like a if you get into trouble, I'm there to react and
Mhm.
assist.
Mhm.
You know,
That
just
out of character, so I can mark it on my sheet correctly. Is a +2 belt of giant strength.
Yes.
I mean, if it was a +4, I would definitely swap it out for mine. But
I mean, if it was a +4, I'm sorry, you do not.
that's
get it.
fair. That is fair. Yeah.
If it was a +4, I don't know if he could identify it, to be honest with you.
Also fair.
That's also true.
Oh, I appreciate you helping us identify it. Is what do we owe you for your knowledge?
Oh man, I don't even know what a reasonable fee would be.
Identify tends to be about 10 gold.
All right, 20 gold.
We give him 20 gold.
Sounds
Thank
good
you,
to me.
sir. Are we
Pleasure
wanting to
doing
sell
business
shit
with you.
here?
Well, we can sell stuff throughout the market. That's sort of the way that money works. So out of character, Zoo, we have a lesser silent meta magic rod.
Uh-huh.
I wrote
Lesser
that down as a mod.
what?
A
Meta-
rod. You are the only real spellcaster. I mean, Havelock can cast spells, but I don't know if you would want that. That seems wasted on him. Oh, actually, he
Okay.
can't. It's only for prepared casters. Otherwise, it's extra a
So
higher
I
level
can't
slot.
use it?
Mhm.
No.
So it's Havelock's.
Or
Well,
full round
actually,
action.
yeah, it takes a full round. So
Sorry.
it's much better
It's
for.
really bad for Havelock. Really good for you.
Yeah, it's much better for you. However,
Oh, cool.
so there is
Give you a
a
day.
slight difference there.
Um,
So the meta magic rod, you have to use it when you prepare your spells in the morning. You do not get to use it on the fly.
Right. Okay.
That is
Oh,
the
wait,
reason.
do you?
Yes, that is the reason that spontaneous casters have an advantage, is because they can use it right then and there, but it costs them a full round to do so.
Just kind of out of character. Is this the town where we would probably like, if I'm curious about my painting, maybe ask people, or is that just totally off topic?
I lied to you. It says as they are cast on
Yeah, I was
metamagic
gonna
rods.
say, I was
Yep.
pretty sure.
I lied to you. Yep. So Xenesis, that means you can use this rod 3 times a day because it's lesser. I think is the
No.
rule.
Only
To
on
cast
certain
a silent spell.
What? A silent?
It means
Any
that your
spells with verbal.
it means that your spells
verbal
like you can
component.
cast it without saying anything.
Oh, legit.
Oh,
Cool.
actually, it looks like you can do any level of spells. That's weird. I thought.
That I'm able to cast, right?
Well, it just makes it a +1.
No, it doesn't.
+1 spell.
Well,
Does not
if
modify
it
the
was,
spell.
yeah, it doesn't modify the spell
If
slot
she had
because
the
it's a
metamagic
metamagic.
feat.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a magic item that holds a feat.
Yes.
Actually, while I'm here, does this guy look like an alchemist? Does he get vials and crap all about?
Yeah, I would say he's got a little bit of experience with alchemy. Yeah.
I'd ask him, does he have any alchemical weapon?
Ooh, it's been a while since anyone's asked for those. And he goes into the back, and you hear some clanging and some sliding and some like creaking of wood crates as he pops them open.
A crash, a broken glass, and a cat yowling.
Yep. A lightning bolt goes off. He comes back out with a box, and it's clinking a little bit, but like softly. And inside is a bunch of hay packed around some vials. And he says, "Well, would any of these interest you? You can find whatever you want. I don't care."
It's regular shopping rules. We can pretty much buy whatever we want.
Yeah.
We just went to the shop to identify items that we couldn't identify.
I want
Anyways,
to
the
roleplay
reason
every single transaction.
No,
You can
you
role
don't.
play it. I don't give a shit.
It's so exhausting.
For you.
I think it's fun.
Well, I'm trying to figure out. Since I have to tell you about how much gold everybody gets, I'm trying to figure out which items that we're not selling. So, can we stop role playing for a second so I can identify those?
No.
So Zoo, do you want the lesser silent metamagic rod? Are you going to use it? Are you going to remember
I
that you have
probably
it?
will. I just need to fully I know you guys said what it does, but I myself need to like sit down
Okay.
and read it 5 times because I'm
Yeah,
that kind
Yeah.
of person.
If
So
you're in a
I am going.
Okay.
Write down that you have it. Circle it
Yep.
many times so you can do that
Yep,
reading. I'm going to remove it from the bag.
Cool. Okay.
I'm going to equip the belt of giant strength +2.
Oh, you're gonna wear that.
At least
So
for now.
you just get it, right?
I'm just putting it
He's
on.
Yep.
strong now.
For the first
Okay.
24 hours, you treat it as a temporary bonus, and after that, it's permanent.
Until you take it off.
Until you take it off for 24 hours.
Actually, Havelock, what do you have for belts?
Not that. Which would be nice. I don't think I have any belts.
Well, actually, I'm just gonna remove this from the list because one of us is gonna take this.
For sure.
So, let me put all of this money. Let's see, 5, and then delete all these. Delete all these. Delete all these. Okay.
Sticks, quarterstaff, amulet, cloak, ring. I don't know what that was from. I assume that's on yours too, right?
Oh, you know what I don't know is, let's see, that was a scroll of control undead.
Yes.
Do we want that belt of giant strength?
One of us is gonna use it. We're not.
I thought
We
please.
definitely that is like one of the best items for
both of us. Like
me and Kali. Yeah, there's no fucking way we're
Okay, scroll of undead. I need to figure out how much that costs. Is
Let's see.
the only thing because it's a level 7 spell. It is a sorcerer or wizard spell. So it is 2275.
good scroll.
Well,
Question
I don't
is,
know
yeah,
if we'd want to keep it. It's worth a lot of
well,
money. But
we would need, it would have to be a zoo item to UMD, but that'd be a pretty big,
Is
pretty
it
tall
not a
order.
cleric spell?
Nope.
No, Sorcerer Wizard 7.
Rip.
Yeah, I don't think it's probably worth it. The chances of it actually going off, like when we need it.
Sir,
not,
how
not to
much did
mention
you say?
she'd be like emulating a level 7 or not
Yeah.
11, 13 character in order to cast it,
Yeah,
and it's a
Mhm.
class that she's not. It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
so we're probably just better off selling it.
Shopkeeper, I don't remember what your name was, but I don't even know if I asked. Sorry, but how much
It's on the
was this
sign
scroll
outside.
Irving.
Irving. Oh,
We
cool.
got the price too. We're good.
Oh, you have the price? Wait, so he doesn't have to tell us?
Yeah, you don't have to roleplay everything. Just shop.
I thought you said we could.
If you want to roleplay, you can.
All right. I know you.
I'm just trying to
don't
sell everything so that
Yeah.
it's all accounted for, and I don't have to
Cool.
keep track of everything. Okay.
Sell it.
Bum, bum, bum. This plus 2302, and then divide by 5. Everyone gets 4,650.
All right.
That is a very decent amount of money. Oh, and the bag of holding
I
is so much
accidentally
cleaner now.
wrote down 46,540 gold. Darp, will you let me? Because I put it on it's wrote on my sheet.
Well,
my
you
sheet.
know, I told Zuzu no at the beginning of the game, so I
Split
feel
the
like I have to
difference.
tell you no too.
I feel like we'll just split the difference. That's what I have written down. So we'll just split the difference, make it 23,000.
23,000. That's reasonable.
Yeah, that's a compromise.
Yeah, I think I'm on board for that too. All in favor, say aye. God damn you all.
I was gonna say it, and then I was like, it would be so much better if nobody supports it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was rich. That was so good. 40.
All right.
1,232. That's getting pretty good progress towards the hunter's band.
So how much are we adding? Sorry, I was doing
4,650.
Cool.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
7,318.
Okay, I have 7,230 gold.
You
I have a
are
shit
only
ton
2
of
gold
gold.
shy of me. The only thing I think I'm picking up because I'm saving is I'm going to pick up an Ioun torch, just because
They're useful as fuck.
Yep, exactly, and I don't
What are
have
you
to use
trying
it
to?
all the time.
What are you trying to buy, Elixir?
An Ioun torch.
No. What are you saving up for?
It's called the Hunter's Band. It is a headband that will do cool things. Or if the situation changes, I might go for boots of speed because being able to haste myself is.
I can
pretty
also
great.
recommend Falconer's gloves.
I'll have to look at those. There was one that's like the bracers of Falcon's aim, which
Oh, that might be what I was thinking of.
are not too great.
I'm so sure it's Falconer's gloves, but maybe it is.
Yeah, I can.
Maybe it is bracers of Falconer's aim.
Bracers
I
of
don't
Falcon's
remember.
aim on. You gain benefits of aspect of the Falcon for 1 minute.
Which
Aspect of the Falcon is +3 on perception checks, +1 competence bonus on ranged attacks, and the critical multiplier for your bows and crossbows is 19 to 20 times 3.
it's okay.
That's really
But
good.
it's only a +1.
The other one is Shadow Falconer's Glove. Elbow length, heavy leather glove, fine embroideries, married by dozens of claw marks. Once a day on command, its wearer gestures towards a creature within 30 minutes. When he does, 30 feet, sorry. When he does, a featureless silhouette of a bird of prey appears, swoops towards the target, and performs a disarm or steal combat maneuver, or his choice, CMB +16. The Shadow Falcon is a magical effect, not a creature, and this action does not provoke attacks of opportunity. If the hand wearing the glove is empty, the Shadow Falcon brings the item to the wearer's hand. If the gloved hand is occupied, the Shadow Falcon deposits the item on the ground in an unoccupied space adjacent to the wearer. The Shadow Falcon then disappears.
What I'm saving up for is the Hunter's Band, which it grants +5 competence bonus to survival. It inures me to the strain of long travel. If I'm a ranger, it increases my favorite enemy bonus on attack rolls by +1. And since I have
Oh, wow.
Hunter's Bond companions, that will also confer that bonus to all of my companions. So if we're fighting undead or aberrations, which we're probably going to,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
everybody gets an extra +1, and
Nice.
and that's like permanent.
Yeah, Zuzu, I would recommend probably Spellguard Bracers for you if you don't have those already.
Spell guard bracers. I sure don't.
Those are really nice.
I was thinking about going down the critical path. I think I mentioned this last time. I was thinking about like aiming for some more critical oriented stuff for Ilix, but criticals on like straight up bow users are it's a painful path. A lot of feet investment, and a lot of the stuff that you can get that multiplies the threat range doesn't stack, and bows don't have a good threat range to begin with. So that's why like the Falconer's gloves are a decent idea. If I get an extra 4,000 to spend, I will probably pick them up, unless
Are you talking about the bracers or the gloves?
the bracers of Falcon's Aim.
Gotcha.
But I like the headband of inspired wisdom because that will give me more uses, or a +2 cloak of resistance.
Yeah.
A little bit better.
Plea is going to look at Havelock and say rock paper scissors or sign rock paper scissors for the belt, and I effectively just, I guess, unless you're going to buy a belt, do you want to just like roll a d20 and whoever has the highest gets the belt? I feel like it's equally valid for both of us. Like,
the other option would be for both of us to take half of it and both of us to spend half our gold on the other half of. I don't mean literally take half of it. I mean.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay,
I draw the keen longsword and slice it in two.
Oh my god.
You will both get a +1 to your strength.
That's not how.
You guys, if you guys are actually going to play rock, paper, scissors, you should type rock, paper, or scissors into the chat and then do a countdown and type it, like, and hit enter.
Well, I feel like that's fun.
Yeah.
I kind of want to do that now out of fun, but I do like the idea that we basically
both of us give 2,000 gold, and then we both have a.
Oh, you buy another one?
Belt of giant strength, yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean, it's not bad. Let's just play rock paper scissors anyway.
I kind of want to do it just because I'm either gonna save up my money or buy something depending on whether or not I get it.
Right, somebody else has to type so we can hit enter at the same.
Can't you just count down in voice chat?
Oh, okay. Are you ready?
3,
I'm ready.
2, 1, shoot.
Well,
what you did?
Don't you roll a d20? Oh, you meant rock. Oh.
I'm doing what Chris said and literally type
rock.
He said words.
So say we all.
That's the best thing ever.
Well, no, like Chris's idea was like, wow.
I knew it.
That's so good.
Oh no, we see where this is the moment where like the mental disorder started in the Havelock genealogy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll count it off one more time.
Okay, we're gonna Smitty. We're going to type
Rock, paper,
what we're
scissors.
playing. Okay.
Okay.
3,
yeah,
2, 1, shoot.
Aha!
Havelock gets the belt of giant strength.
Good thing we never agreed to that previous bargain I proposed.
No, it's fine. I'm just gonna I'm somewhat close to a belt of physical might, which is so I'm thinking I'm just gonna do that.
Okay, well,
Once I get the money. Which
I
You should buy
also-
you should buy monk's robe.
considering that the that
those
you're
actually I
most,
looked
like
at monk's robes. They drastically diminish their power as you level up, and at this point they're actually not worth the 13,000 gold that they cost.
yeah.
Because it's +1 AC and +1 stunning fist per day, and my damage goes up 1 set of damage things for monks. But I never attack with my fists. I've built my character around grappling. I almost never use all my stunning fists, and my AC is almost never a problem.
Until it is.
How close are you to that belt of physical might?
I have 7,285 and it costs 10,000, so I'm like 2,800 away, which is a fair amount.
All right, I equip the belt of giant strength and pull out 2,800 gold
Oh,
and give it
sweet.
to Plea.
Cool. I equip my new belt of physical might with dex and strength.
Frankly, I think that the belt of physical might is actually better for me than it is for you, since you do so much grapple.
Well, I need both dex and strength. I think more than you.
Well,
A lot of my other skills require dex, and my AC is 100% dex because I can't wear armor. Belt of strength dex. And I am going to sell my belt of tumbling.
Alex,
Yo.
would you like some adamantium arrow? I was gonna heat up this blanch and make some bullets.
Check my.
Take 400 more gold, Havoc.
for what?
I'm selling my belt. It's the
Be a
payback.
friend.
Thanks, man.
I think that basically, well, I mean, it's still a little bit extra money that you spent, but
400 gold worth.
I'd take another one. What is that? 100 gold thereabouts.
Oh well, you can just have 10. I'll
Oh.
give you a vial. So I'll just make 20 bullets.
My thanks, gunslinger.
No problem.
So, extra 10 on that. Alright.
So donkeys are just 8 gold? Like a mule?
Not buying a donkey.
Havoc buys an army of
How
donkeys.
many donkeys do you think would be in this town?
Jeez.
They're all undead donkeys.
There are exactly 91.
Okay.
What about the ancient tandem war elephant? How many of those are there?
None.
Damn it. Shit.
Finn the human.
Fuck.
I should figure
Is
out.
that the
my
same
body
episode as
item.
Is that the same episode as the one where they're in like the maze?
I think so. Yeah, and like he stretches Jake stretches himself out.
Yeah, and he's
far?
like, he's like Finn
Yeah,
the human boy.
ancient-
It's like, you know me? I have an
Ancient
approximate
psychic
knowledge.
tandem world. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I think. Yeah. It's been a very long time since I've watched that, but I think you are correct.
That's basically Bard. I have an approximate knowledge of many things.
Frank the human, Finn. I have approximate knowledge of me.
Yeah.
I guess holy would not actually be worth it for me because I already
Okay.
have the ability to make my weapon good aligned.
But wouldn't it
For-
stack if
for
you had
DR.
Bane Undead? If you had
Well-
Bane Undead and Holy on top of that, and you hit an Undead, that's
It'd be an
4d6 on top.
Yeah, it'd be an extra 2d6.
Wait, does holy do extra damage on dead or just
Yeah.
evil?
Undead, or I don't know if it's also evil. I think it's specifically.
No, I know it's
It's
evil.
against evil alignment. It does not appear to do anything special against undead.
Oh, I know it's
But
evil, all right.
It would make it good aligned, and we've already run into things with that. I think.
Well, I already have my judgments allow me to make my weapon good. So
yeah,
that would be
Oh, that's a +2 bonus, so that's pretty expensive.
yeah.
See,
I'm
like
just looking at
I
options.
could get a +2 bonus on my weapon if I sold some things, but the problem is, like very very quickly, I would run out of money because like I'd spend all this money, and then I'd have to get bullets, and bullets are expensive.
Well, your glass is broken, so it makes sense that bullets are expensive.
Well, I mean, it's the only way to do it. Luckily, blanches are much cheaper than making an adamantium bullet.
Yeah.
Not by a hell of a lot, but it does save me about 40 gold per 10. So that comes in handy. I do, however, think I will get. Does a +1 only take a day to make rather than a week for a +2?
No, magic items cost. It's 1 day for every 1,000 gold in their cost.
So 2 days.
It is possible that a vendor could just have +1 weapons made that you could buy.
Probably not.
It's a what?
Musket.
Oh, then no. Sorry, I think you're pretty much SOL. If you want to craft a gun, you gotta craft it yourself.
Well, I've crafted a gun. I wanted to make
If
a
you
+1.
wanna craft a gun, better craft it
Making
yourself.
a +1 is just the 2,000 gold.
Yeah.
Y'all are a weird bunch.
It's true.
I'm not weird until I get my next 8,000 gold, in which I will buy a shirt of immolation.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so the snuggles with Ilix are extra.
Hot, hot, hot.
Actually, you know what I could do? Since this musket doesn't have any enchant on it to begin with, I could make it a seeking musket.
Oh my god.
It would just make it to where if I know the square of an invisible enemy, I can shoot it and it ignores all.
The Seeking Musket what? What does cat mean?
Musket.
Yeah, the Seeking Musket what? What is that? Is that a verb?
No.
Can't tell if Tanner's trolling or not right now.
He
Or
is.
legitimately can't hear Travis.
Thank you, Smitty.
Yeah, he is. You can tell.
It
by
was such an
listening to it.
even
You
tone.
can tell by looking at Tanner's face and knowing
Yeah.
that he's always bullshitting.
You can tell by who's talking.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna try to find a place to get that done, Dark.
You can find. I already told you guys. You can find anything that you can afford. It's a big enough city.
10,000 done.
And I'll spend 2,000 GP to try to get my musket enchanted with seeking.
Assuming that you can do that. Yeah, it's seeking now.
Yeah.
Well, it's 2,000 gold, so yeah, I can.
Yep. So +1.
Well, I mean, is it a valid property to put on a musket? All right.
Well, it has to be a ranged weapon. It doesn't say that it's only.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as long as you're not throwing the musket as the attack.
Yeah. It just says. Well, it does state in the thing arrows mistakenly shot into an empty space. I don't know. I don't know.
I would assume that's because that was written before the advent of
Not probably
the
2012.
black powder rules.
Well, it says arrows mistakenly shot into an empty space, for example.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought about getting Seeking for my bow, but got my ranger thing that can mostly do that.
Yeah, mine does, and that's
It's
that could
8,000
be
gold.
that could be very useful.
Yes. If you can, yeah, because for you, if you can overcome the mischance, you're probably going to hit. And so it's perfectly logical.
Okay, I Since I have definitely enough money, I'll buy the Spellguard bracer.
Do you like them?
They seem cool. Bracers grant the wearer a +2 bonus on concentration checks. I know one of my feats gives me a concentration check.
Yeah, I believe you have combat casting, don't you?
Yes.
So this goes really well with that. Because the Spellguard bracers give you extra rolls a couple times a day, which is really nice.
Actually, no, I don't have combat casting. I have Warrior Priest, which gains me a +1 on initiative and +2 on concentration.
Oh, okay, nice.
That's even better.
Hmm
Why would you ever get combat casting with that? Like,
If that exists, yeah.
Because you can have both.
Stacked to the stacked.
Yeah, the nice thing about Spellguard bracers is that 3 times per day you can re-roll a concentration check.
All right, well, I'm adding that to my loot.
cool.
So basically, if you're in a pinch and you need to get a really critical heal off, you have a better chance of not losing the spell.
And on top of that heal, she can now also channel as a swift action, which is always.
Oh, that's gross.
Oh, dude, let me tell you, I fucking obliterated something in the fucking Rise of the Rune Lords campaign because I ran up, I cast heal on an and then I channeled 2 66 channels to harm undead. And I don't I think it
Wait,
was
can you still
100?
do it as a standard action?
Sorry, it was 60. But yeah, like on top of the 150, it was like another 20. Because I rolled good.
I was gonna say, you only get 1 swift action per turn.
We were hasted. Other people were doing crazy shit.
You still only get 1 swift action.
1 swift and 1 standard.
Yeah.
Haste doesn't give you extra actions. It only gives you extra attacks and full round actions.
Well, it's dead. That's all I can do.
Yep.
I don't. I think I did wait.
Living in the past.
I think though it was dead before I even did the channel because the fighter archer in our dealt like 180 to it with his multi-shot, rapid shot bullshit, plus haste on top of that. So I think he shot like 6 times at our level.
1 million arrows.
Yeah, he shot 6 times and the first arrow hit. And that means it was 2 arrows, so he technically shot 7 times. And he's got like a plus 12 or plus 13 onto his bow damage. It's just stupid.
Okay, so how close are we to being done shopping here, guys?
I am ready.
Plea is done.
I believe.
Honestly, I might buy a belt of incredible dexterity.
I want to grab a couple potions actually, just while I'm thinking.
Feel
of it.
free.
A couple healing potions.
I'm considering buying a hat of disguise, just as because we're going to another city that doesn't like me. pretty considerably. It alters you as disguised self, but it does not appear to have. It appears to be like a permanent thing instead of 10 minutes per level.
Oh.
It says, because it doesn't have a limit on rounds per day that you can do it or anything. It just says,
Yeah.
It allows the wearer to alter her appearance as with disguised self spell, or a disguised self.
Does it make an exception for duration? Because if it doesn't, then you have to keep recasting it.
It doesn't give a duration, or
If it says that functions as the spell, then it uses the spell duration.
okay.
A question. So you said the left.
So here's the wording. Allows its wearer to alter her appearance as with a disguised self spell. So I can't.
Which means it functions as it. Yeah.
You're not casting the spell, but like the function of the disguise is
The spell.
for a period of time.
Yeah. So you'll have to reapply it, but that shouldn't be too hard to go adjust your hat every 10 minutes.
Yeah. Probably not a big deal.
So, Darp, I've got a +1 studded leather. Could I trade that in for a +1 mithril chain shirt, and I just paid the difference.
You get half of the cost of the item back.
Okay, so it would instead of 2,025, it'd be 1,012.
So because it's not the same item, you have to sell one and buy another.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not upgrading it, you're selling it.
Yep. So it's half off, half value. So if you're gonna sell your +1, you would sell it for 1,000 if it costs 2. And then you
Okay,
could
so
use the remaining money to buy your item.
I have a question. So this lesser meta magic rod, when I'm looking on the Excel spreadsheet, it has a lot of meta magic rods. So what is it specifically?
Silent.
Silent.
Silent. Okay, that's what. All right.
You be super quiet, like Plea. All of a sudden, Plea can cast spells now because he can silently do that.
He's actually been able to the whole time, and he's responsible for the Whispering Tyrant.
Wait, what?
I didn't know.
Oh, this is awkward.
Okay. Picked up 2 cure moderate wounds potions. Looking good. Looking good.
Hey, that's pretty good.
What just happened?
Memes. Memes happened. You witnessed the birth of verbal memes. Are you happy?
No.
Yep.
Welcome to our life, because we're equally not happy with it. We just did it. It didn't bring
Yeah,
us joy.
the memes own me now.
Clip that out of the YouTube video.
Put that on your YouTube videos.
I don't think there's anything else I'm gonna buy, really. Actually, not buying the hat. I don't think. I feel like it'd be kind of out of Havok's character to hide himself.
I mean, he's like half coward, half hero.
Yeah.
Buy half a hat? Or just a cap. Buy a cap of disguise. Like a skull cap.
Yeah.
Buy the hat of disguise and disguise yourself as Jack Jones.
Oh man.
A
So-
hero of legend.
Disguise yourself as yourself.
Is
but with a
everybody
change.
done shopping?
Yep.
Darp, whenever you get could you update my token to reflect the new grit and AC score? I just set the new AC, but it didn't seem to.
What? You can update the token.
Well, yeah, but every time I put one down again, I think it'll show all my old stuff.
Don't you have VTT?
That has never worked for me.
You have to do update default token. Because the default token is the one attached to the character sheet.
See, it's grayed out for me.
Oh, that's
It just
interesting.
says update all tokens.
Oh,
You do not have permission to update the default token.
well, that's stupid. All right.
Yeah. I am done.
So what am I
Put some
supposed to
more
do
items
here?
on my shopping list.
What am I supposed to do when the best part of me was always...
Basically, I want since my grit is now 5 and my AC is 22 with the mithril. All you'd have to do is just update the token by deleting the old one and putting the new one.
Well, do you have like grit and stuff as abilities on your character sheet?
I don't know where I would put.
All right, I'll do it for you.
I have it on the token. I have it on the
Attributes. Grit. How many grit points do you get?
5.
Cool, and then I'll add another attribute. What's this like 19 thing that you have?
Instead of 19, it's 22, and that's my. Just as a quick glance, you can see what I got.
Oh, okay. I can just blow that on. So now if you go to your abilities and attributes tab and scroll all the way down, you'll have a box for grit, so you can change this in the future. Presumably. I don't know if it did it not take? What the fuck?
Well, because I don't think those two boxes actually have the attribute attached.
They will. Okay. Grit is attached. And now AC is going to be attached as well. There we go. Nice and easy.
Cool. Cool. Thank you, Darby.
Yep.
Don't know why it doesn't let me update that though.
Yeah. Well, now you can change it, so it'll be fine. Your AC will update automatically, and your grit will change whenever you change that number on the abilities and attributes. So it should be fine. Anything else?
The health was already set.
Well, it takes. Never mind. Whatever. We're good. Good.
What?
We're good.
All right.
Do the thing.
What?
I assume you mean Ring of Protection, Zuzu?
Is that what did I spell it wrong?
You put
Yeah,
Right of
sorry.
Protection.
Yeah, I typed really quickly. But
+2 is kind of pricey. You have enough gold for that?
yeah, I have a lot of gold. I
Wow.
have 13,948.
Holy shit.
I don't think she bought anything last
I don't
time.
buy. Yeah, I don't buy anything. Like your campaign, Smitty. I have a shit ton of gold too. It's like 10,000.
Yeah, you definitely should spend that. You definitely
I'm-
should have spent your gold in my
I-
game on a
Well,
mega item.
Yeah,
Bu-
I think
beer
I
for the entire town.
I don't know.
I made you
For
a gold
life.
there, right?
For the next
Right.
7 generations, you buy beer for everyone.
I'm just
Um,
saying, like, in my game, you could have bought an 18,000 gold item. You probably would have been
Pretty good.
pretty decent.
So is that after your Spellguard bracers and your ring?
No, I'm subtracting all right now.
Okay.
So XL says it's 5,000, but the thing on the internet says it's 22,500.
Which one are you talking about?
5,000.
The Spellguard bracers are 5k.
Okay, so why does the internet say different?
It
You are
doesn't?
probably looking at the wrong part of the page.
Oh,
At the
You're
combat
price.
Crafting cost.
Yeah, it's yep.
Oh, okay, I see it. Solid.
Top
Cool,
is
cool.
price, bottom is
YPCG very rarely lies. It's very rarely wrong.
I don't think I've ever seen it wrong. It just misses a few things.
Yes.
It just doesn't
Yeah.
have everything. Everything
The
that's in
guide-
it is right.
The
Why
guide
is
is
this
100%
free thing
accurate.
incomplete? God.
The guide is 100% accurate.
2
Reality
out
is
of 10
sometimes disappointing.
unsubscribed.
Cool. Now I'm kind of broke. It's exciting.
How much do you have left?
948 gold.
Jeez. That's
Good.
good. That's good.
Okay, that's
good.
good. Okay.
No, that's not what I wanted. We're gonna save that to PDF.
Do you already
Mm,
have a cloak of
effective.
resistance?
What?
Do you already have a cloak of resistance?
Yeah, do they not work together?
Oh no, you're good. I was just making sure that you already had one because that's definitely more important than the ring.
Yeah, I have a cloak of resistance
ring
plus
protection.
2.
It's like the first 2 things. to
Jeez, nice.
ever get.
Yeah.
I don't get to wear a ring of protection because I have bracers of armor.
That'll do it.
Don't think they stack.
Are bracers of armor? Wait, no, because
Oh, no,
bracers.
those are armor bonus. Never mind.
Yeah,
Never mind. I forgot ring of protection was natural. Or deflection.
it's not. It's deflection. Yeah.
Even better. Oh, I still can't afford it. Do I have one? I might even have one. Never mind.
Natural armor is
No, I
the
don't.
necklace.
Natural armor is the necklace. Okay. I have the ring.
But there's a lot of really cool necklaces, so I think that one's hard to choose.
Oh, I have an amulet of mighty fist with a ghost touch on it. I'm more than happy with my choice. I can punch ghosts.
You can anyway now, can't you?
No, I can literally punch ghosts and do full damage.
I am locked and loaded, my compadres.
All right.
I think I'm good too.
Awesome. I'm
Closing all these
So
items
you
out.
managed to do your
Excited.
shopping without making any big splashes in the town.
Oh my god, I'm excited.
Is there a library in this town?
Probably.
The library.
Can we go to the library?
Sure.
How much to buy all the undead slaves?
Oh my
And
god.
bind them
Oh
to
my
boat?
god.
I feel like that would
The
be
town's
mean.
worth.
Incredibly
Yeah.
expensive.
I'm having some misgivings about that statement.
So I think there are probably more than. Well, actually, I think the libraries are probably up in the crown, which will have less people, and so you're gonna have a harder time hiding. But if you still want to go, that's fine. We can make it happen.
I do want to go. I don't necessarily want to hide. I just don't want to be conspicuous, if that makes sense. I don't know what they'd be wearing up there, but I'm a monk, so I can just be monkey.
Well, you have a cloak on, so you know.
Yeah.
Don't you have a cloak of resistance or something? You
I do.
pull the
I could
hood,
totally
stare at the
just-
ground.
Yeah. And put my hands together in prayer. And I look like a holy man. I don't get to do that.
Yeah, but Elix is behind you making those sounds.
Yeah. So I want to head towards the crown. And,
Okay.
And I say to my party, perhaps we should see if someone here might be able to help us decipher these cryptic notes that we found.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, sounds reasonable.
In that case, I think you probably find a smaller library in the Tangle that, like on your way up to the crown, that kind of catches your eye as a place where somebody might, you know, be amiable to receiving coin for services rendered.
Cool. I go into the library with my friends and see if there's a librarian in there, I guess.
So it's less of a traditional library in that there's a bunch of public people in here than it is as like almost like a bookstore.
Give me 1 second. Don't say anything for a short period of time.
Very
Discord
tempting.
is having some issues right now. I'm trying to fix.
Text.
I hear dicks.
Um,
Sounds
there
better
we go.
on my end.
We're good.
Text.
Okay. Go ahead.
So yeah, it's more of a bookstore type thing.
Okay.
Although you get the impression that not everything in here is for sale. So
I
it's
to my compatriots who can talk.
Yeah. There a librarian here available?
it takes you a few minutes to find her, but yes, she is camped out by one of the larger windows, just reading.
Oh. Ma'am, do you mind?
Shh.
Ma'am, we need help. Could you help us?
Give me diplomacy.
Okay.
Like how you always make that sound for your roll dice.
I know.
Like it takes great effort to click a button.
I get nervous.
I know, but it just sounds like it's fucking like Atlas trying to carry it up the hill. Okay.
Given how we rolled tonight.
I think she. Let's see. What would be? All right, you're probably all right. Sure. What can I do for you?
My dear friend, here. He has a few books, scrolls, or something that needs to be deciphered. And we were wondering if we could use your knowledgeable skill. Plea is his name.
Flea waves at her and signs, and then pulls out the notes from the bag.
Gotcha. I had almost forgotten all about these. Okay, so let me figure out what her linguistics is going to be.
I could aid with a +6.
Do you have linguistics?
Yeah, but I
Did-
don't know if I have the right
Did you
languages.
fail the roll last time?
Might
I
have.
think so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a big check. Okay. So yeah, if you want to help with the translation, I think that is fine.
Cool. Is it wrong to like cast guidance while I do it too, or no?
You should
No,
cast
it's fine.
guidance on her, but
Oh, okay. I cast guidance on the librarian.
Okay.
Don't touch me, woman.
I'm sorry. I think these might be beyond my abilities.
Darn.
I assigned to Xenesis, see if she knows anyone that might be able to help us.
Do you know if there's anyone that could help us in this, or like a referral reference?
I this code is pretty complex. I think you might you might need a very very talented linguist, and I don't even know anyone who could break this for you.
Hmm. Well, your time is appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, Plea. We are SOL.
Yeah, even with help, she was still like 10 shy of the DC, so
Damn.
it's DC 30 linguistics, which is pretty substantial.
Yeah.
Luckily, that should reassure you that it's not like completely necessary to the plot that you unlock
Yeah.
that.
I mean, it still makes me sad that.
Yeah, completionist, I get it.
I mean, if we found someone who could cast tongues on us.
Well,
But it's coded, so you have to.
yeah,
Well,
it's not that it's a different language.
It's coded in different languages, but we have the
No.
Well, the 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 lang the the linguistics
Oh,
check
it
is to
is a
break
code.
the code.
Yes.
I mean, I guess I could keep attempting it as we go. I do have a point in linguistics.
Yeah. I mean,
I have
Zoo and you
si-
can try every day, and if one of you guys get a nat 20, then
Why
it's
not?
a success. But
Not today, dirtbag.
yeah, I that's all I really wanted to do in this town, unless there was other plot points that reveal
I
themselves.
don't think so. Because we're
I
not
look
doing the Carrion Hill module, so nope.
I look to everyone as like, I think Sunshine. Well, if we can't get these notes deciphered and we've acquired all of the goods that we wish to purchase, perhaps we should be on our way to Thrushmore.
Do we want? Are we wanting to look at like rations, that kind of thing?
Can we
Yes.
rest for a couple days?
Um,
Cause I need to recover some con damage.
So even though you couldn't help us in the realm of deciphering, could you? Do you know a good location to stay the night? Possibly here or in another town.
Yeah, she'll give you directions to a few inns that you can choose from.
Well,
hmm
um, how how far are we to the next town?
Oh, a
Or to
ways.
Thrushmore.
Ways. Let's take you over to the main map.
I feel like next town might be a better question.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm talking about food wise.
So
So
it depends on how successful you navigate through the Hungry Mountains, right?
yeah. So
Because
yeah.
if you end up on this path somehow, or like going this way, then there is Hyannis here that would be on the way. But that is quite a ways. I mean, that's at least 3 days.
Oh, we have horses.
2 days. um, you could go to Red Leaf, I suppose. It's a bit far out of the way.
Yep.
It adds to your time getting to Thrushmore.
Well, I mean, it's
I-
easier to take a horse on through the open plain towards
Then a
town
mountain, yep.
than going through the mountains and possibly getting lost. How fast do horses move? Overland movements. Why aren't all the things in all the places dark?
I'm sorry, man.
I know.
So we're talking at least a week's travel.
If we all have light horses, they can travel. What the? 28 miles a day.
So that's about 4 days. I still think Alex is going to pick up a week's worth of rations for herself, just for safety's sake.
Yeah, I'm gonna do pretty much what Leopold's doing.
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll throw in 10 days, just for safety's sake.
Yeah, might as well.
Fee up my rations.
Oh, it's in the
Need feed for the horses. We have saddlebags on the horses.
I will buy feed for my horses and for my horse and for Poopsie.
Oopsie.
And you keep Poopsie fat in an emergency. Poopsie is like at least a couple days rations for us. We stretch it, so I see what you're doing.
It's all about the long game.
Yeah, it's like vampires, they keep the humans around just in case they need a snack.
I don't think I'm very comfortable with that interpretation.
I didn't ask.
Yeah, fair enough. I didn't ask.
Hey man, I didn't ask. Okay. Let's track 65537. Going to town's expensive.
That is the purpose of going to towns.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could sell this +1 keen longsword to get the hunter's band, but God, I like that sword.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
would
gonna
not
sell
sell
that fucking
that if
sword.
I were you.
That sword's
that's-
boss.
You need to have a melee option, and that
Yeah.
sword is
I've
like
got that
so
silver
fucking
longsword. I got a +1 silver longsword, but the keen one,
dude, it's not worth it, man.
gotta-
+1 keen is like
yeah,
that's an 8,000 gold.
yep,
Like,
8,350.
it's so fucking worth it to keep.
Yeah, because I'm not super strong, but the expanded crit range is really
Yeah.
what it's all about.
Let's head out.
Although you would do very well with that that elven
The elven curve sword.
elven curves.
Yeah. Put the keen on that thing. Okay. Oh, damn it. I forgot. I failed to read the rest of Leopold's stuff. I gotta add the money. Ah, crap.
Da crap.
Yeah, crap.
Yeah, crap in the basket.
And we'll say 2.
Just adding more shit to the weapon notes.
Yeah. Because it's like proper winter now.
Yep.
So we definitely need to have horse feed.
clustered shot is the big good for gunslinger. Finally fucking got it. Did you take clustered shot at 9, Ilix?
No.
What'd you end up taking?
I don't think I can get that yet.
Do you have precise shot and where's the pro? Point blank precise and a base attack bonus of
Maybe that is not in. I think that's. I think that wasn't coming up for me, and I thought it was maybe excluded for some other reason
it's
about my character.
super good.
Well, the problem was I realized that I didn't have the some of the supplements turned on in my PCG, but I took I think like weapon mastery or something like that, weapon focus, I think. But it'll come back around.
Yep. Yeah, though that's. I mean, we've got enough blanched bullets and shit to overcome most DR anyway.
Yeah.
But just that little extra, just that little extra 5 on top might be nice.
Yeah.
What are we waiting for?
If we're all square, let's
I
go
think we need
ahead.
to plot our course, right?
Yeah, let's get a survival check cooking here.
I will assist. Well, I have to go over to my token to assist, but I am going to assist.
Not the best.
Assisting Ilix.
Oof. Why is my survival so low? I don't have any points in it. No wonder.
Assisting.
Okay. Synesis, do you have survival trained? I would assume not, because you
Someone
only get
trains
4
that.
points per level, so.
No, I have
Okay.
no.
Alright. So. You are actually going to start at your favorite terrain, because you're going to be going through the stone groves,
So,
which
yeah,
is a
another +4 on
forest.
that.
So 28. That's pretty good.
For rolling a 3. Yep. Yep. So my plan is to stay out of, follow the stone groves to the Watching Wood. If the Watching Wood proves passable, we can travel through and around, perhaps around the lake, the edge of Lantern Lake, and then cut over to Rosenport from Lantern Lake. You know, like
I
right
sort
through
of. Okay.
and then follow the
The
Danford.
blue is just a representation of kind of the 2 paths that you have available to you. If you want to go there, that is also fine.
Yeah, I think it cuts out a big portion of going around this forest.
Yes, but you will be going over, like, there's not a road there.
Yeah.
Or a path, really.
I think the overland is the best.
Well,
be faster than...
it should still be a little hilly, because it should still be foothills, but I don't think it'll be terrible.
Yeah. But, you know, going that way is like an extra, like, 60 miles easy, it looks like.
So, are you sleeping in Carrion Hill and then...
Yeah,
Okay.
I had asked that we sleep a few days in.
A few
the-
days.
A couple of days in the inn, so I can recover the con damage that I took. I
Do
poisoned
you
myself
have to
earlier
be in
today.
a city to do that?
No,
Or?
no, we don't
So-
have to.
Probably
We can
not a
head
good
out.
idea then. It's all right, Plea. You'll recover that constitution on the road. Just like a great swan song tradition. Get drunk and heal
Plea,
your
Plea looks up at Havelock sickly.
Don't give me that mug.
Well, this place isn't foreboding at all. What's this, Blade's Edge? Jesus.
I
Okay.
was gonna say, like, is this the grave of Frank Frazetta?
You guys want
I
me to keep
do-
making obscure references? Or?
Okay,
Yes,
stop.
we
I want to
do,
roleplay now.
Taku.
Earlier I didn't, but now I do.
Okay. All right. So you guys are making your way through the Hungry Mountains, which do not at all look welcoming or beautiful. They are definitely a war-torn and foreboding sight. There are what look to be collapsed mines, sort of just scattered around the mountains as you're moving through. The weather is pretty dry and clear, but it is quite cold, especially as you get up to the higher altitudes. There is quite a bit of well, you guys are heading more toward around the mountains instead of going up into the
Yeah.
high passes, but the areas that you do have to go up into the mountains a bit, the trail is kind of hodgepodge together. There is like really old fence posts and stuff that look like they were put there by different people, and there's like handkerchiefs like tied to those that are marking the trail as best they can, but it's really inconsistent and kind of like everybody has done their own thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's probably generations of people
Yeah.
doing this. Um,
Do we
yeah, I
have?
think
Is the music
that.
going okay?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Okay, I
good.
think it's just quiet
I
on my end. There we go.
imagine Ilix is probably having a bit more trouble than usual navigating as per the role because this sort of mountainous terrain is much less home to her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will suggest that we stash what dry firewood we can along the way in the handy haversack. Should we find ourselves in a bad situation where we can't get something nice and dry, we
Yeah,
we have it ready.
I
ready
collect a bunch of
stashed.
dry firewood and throw it like holding. I'll actually even make a note of that.
We can, stash enough shit in that to, make a lean-to even, uh, if we needed. What's the weight capacity on that?
1 second, let me figure out which type it is, so I can tell you that.
So here's kind of what I'm envisioning for how it looks.
Oh shit!
Ooh,
Yep, that's some
very
God of War shit
precarious.
right there.
Lovely. Just lovely. It is a Type 2 bag of holding. It can hold 500 pounds.
Okay, yep, that's certainly enough for a good bit of dry firewood.
I mean, it's got stuff
So-
in it, but not 500
Yeah.
pounds worth.
So yeah, we make our way along.
Okay.
Uh,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, are we wanting to roll to stop for the night for survival checks, or what's our immediate goal?
That's up to you.
Probably
Not
go as
freeze
close
to death.
Keep going.
Yeah,
Don't freeze to death.
if we can find a place that will be warm for the
Avoid-
night, ideally, like perhaps a cave or an area sheltered from the wind.
Yep. I will hunt up. Let's see if we can find maybe one of these caves that the mouth is relatively stable.
I will
Sure.
assist Felix again. I feel like we'll all assist in looking for
I
a
can
cave.
hunt the place up, but maybe our gunslinger who
Oh, I thought you were
architecture a little bit
survival
more.
looking. Whoops.
Well, whichever. So yeah, either the 36 perception or the 30
Oh yeah.
survival roll to
You
find a uh, a find a mine or a
Yep.
natural
I was
cave.
gonna say you
Uh,
find an abandoned mine.
okay. I'm not familiar with the. I guess we're in kind of a blustery zone. I'm not familiar with these mines. Can you tell if it's sound enough that we may stop here for the night?
Is
Nice.
it?
Oh,
All right,
Damn.
Leopold, describe to us how you determine that the mine is safe.
At the mouth of the cave, obviously, that would be the most exposed to the elements. And if that collapsed, we'd be trapped inside. So I don't think we need to go that far into the cave or the mine. So I would probably be testing the to see if the wood was rotted from the cross beams that hold up the cave entrance, and then I'd be kind of working my way back, kind of poking them to make sure they're not like shredding under just my gentle prodding.
Nope, it
And
seems safe.
can I do a knowledge check to see if I'm aware of any type of threats or creatures or monsters that like this sort of environment that we might be
Sure.
that could be a danger? Is there like a particular one that is apt, or you can just roll?
Are you worried about particular types of creatures?
Yeah. So I'm thinking dungeoneering and
That
or
makes sense.
nature
Okay.
would be applicable.
So
is
monsters or beasts.
is
Yeah.
this place under the purview
Let's
of
roll.
Carrion? Like, could there be undead miners here?
You're not sure. The mine does appear to be abandoned, and you don't think that the folks at Carrion Kill would waste assets on an abandoned mine. So I guess take that as you will. Dungeoneering 15. I think you know that um, like treants and maybe gorgons might be semi-common, and with nature, ticks, bears, um, lang spiders,
Okay.
giant slugs.
Do we see any tracks in this cave or in this mine, like heading out, like in the
That's
snow
a
or anything?
good question.
Let's see here.
21, but +4 for survival tracking.
I will assist. I will not assist.
That's that.
That's
That
an
works.
assist.
Oh, does that count?
Yep,
Okay.
10 or
An
above.
assist is 10 or
Yeah.
above for a +2
Mhm.
bonus.
So 25 +2 or +1 for assist? I think it's +2, right?
+2.
Plus 2.
Yeah. 27, looking for noticeable tracks. Though I imagine
I have to see. Hold on, let me look something up.
I imagine the environment
Yes.
has obscured some of what we might see.
Creepy. I haven't listened to this song the whole way through. Okay. So yeah, I think that you find a pair of, not a pair, a set of um, relatively large tracks. Like, Ilex could probably lay down in one of these footprints.
Something large has passed through here. Um, I'm going to throw a knowledge nature to see if I can identify it,
Okay.
which is not super great.
Nope. I don't think you can. It's possible that somebody else could if you pointed out the tracks.
Oh yeah, I'm yeah. Looking at it, and they're like something large passed here, and I imagine they're like, oh, how big? And I'm like standing in a footprint that's like 6 feet across.
Would my Trevor background give me anything?
I doubt it.
Geography help, or is that
No.
more okay? Well,
Mine's untrained for nature, so I probably
Well,
can't.
you guys aren't sure what it is, but you know it's big.
Yeah.
I'm gonna nature.
mine's technically trained. I just don't know how to get it to not say it's not un.
You have to put a
I have a
point
feat.
into it in.
Yeah.
Well, I have a feat that has me all the skills. Not all the knowledges are trained for.
Let's see. Monsters' abilities and weaknesses.
Class skills for you?
10 plus
Yeah, I
CR.
don't know how to show it on roll 20
Just
though.
because it's a class
it
skill
check-
doesn't
You
mean
just
that
checkbox it.
Trained. Yeah.
It's
But you
not
can-
a point in it.
It's
You can
called
pick one.
Breath of Experience. You get a +2 bonus in all knowledge and profession skill checks. So not
Yeah,
count.
but it doesn't count as being trained. You still have to
You
put
still
a point
have to put
into
a
it.
point in them.
It
But
Unfortunately.
to
says
make it a
enter-
class skill, if you go to your skills page, there's a row called CS,
Uh-huh.
and you
That's a-
just check the boxes for those.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And
So-
whenever you put a point into a class skill, you get +3 on it automatically in addition to that point. So it's very useful to
okay.
put points into your
Yes.
class skills.
You get plus A. You can actually roll them. Which
Well,
is
this one,
one could argue that is the biggest.
yeah, but this feat
is the
says that you can make a check with those skills untrained, which is kind of why
Okay.
I got it.
Yeah, you
Oh.
can do it.
Yeah.
But it's still worth it because you put one skill point in it, and it's +4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ilix will say, given its size, no matter what it is, it's unlikely that it will sneak up on us, but still, we should be wary tonight.
Yes.
Is this track out of the cave or in the cave?
That's a good question.
It's inside the cave. Like near, probably midway. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
middle front.
Yeah, I don't think we go too far into the cave. We stay to close.
Near,
I
near,
think,
near the mouth, but out of the wind.
Yeah, yeah. If there's enough space that we can get the horses in, and then get ourselves in, then we should be good.
You can get yourselves out of the wind. And I think this is probably a decent stopping point, but let me show you the view outside your little mine.
Cool. Chilly.
Yes, it's
Looks
a party.
pretty and
Um,
Reminds
desolate.
Clem of home.
Looks great.
Yeah, as we're setting up camp for the night, Plea looks out at the cave mouth, and then signs to Alex, and was like, it's kind of beautiful in its own way.
I'm not much for the lack of trees, but certainly don't see anything like this back home. And she'll put her arm over his shoulder and just kind of look out into the
Admire the view for a moment
view. Yeah.
before continuing to set up camp.
I walk out and put my arm around Plea's other side. Totally fucking missing what's going on.
Nice. The brain damage
Like
continues.
Third wheeling himself.
That's what I was
directly.
about to say. And thus the third wheel was invented.
Ah, what a view, boys. What a view. Man, I'll taking a look at something like this makes me think how great it would be to one day bring a sweetie up here and just share a private moment staring at the sunset between the two of
Um,
Yeah,
Flea,
it's a
We
date
both
to
do,
the
like, a
Hungry
slow
Mountains.
head turn.
Flea puts his other arm around Havelock and begins squeezing very tightly.
I tell you, I just can't. Okay, all
as soon as like he basically gets the tap out, Flea, let's go.
right. Just Havelock just collapses. Starting to regret lending you the money for the physical might belt.
Spitting up blood.
Yeah. Oh, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Again. Well, it looks pretty.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna GG because I have to go poop really bad. Good game, guys.
nice.
Love y'all.
FYI.
Okay.
Good times.
Sometimes you gotta peel
Yeah.
back the curtain.
Yeah, break that fourth wall.
No, that's actually.
That was actually in character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just walked
As
into the
innocence
cave.
starts heading to the back of the mine.
Yeah. Oh no! Outside!
Yeah,
Outside!
that's
Oh,
right.
we're gonna be smelling it all night.
Just gonna waft up.
You can definitely tell that she was born to city folk.
I must say though, this whole place probably is one of the closest places Clem's seen of home, like that's like home ever.
Well,
in his
it's
travel.
winter, so you know.
Well, yeah, it's winter in the mountains and it's deep and super cold.
Yeah. All right. So next time we'll traverse through the Watching Wood and probably make it down to Thrushmore and actually truly start book 4. This sort of turned into a shopping session, and that's okay. We needed.
I mean, it was necessary.
Yeah, you gotta do one every now and then. So.
Yeah, we had quite a bit of emotional turmoil the last couple sessions, so.
Yep.
No, it's all right to mix in some. What do you call it? Some
Me-
monetary turmoil.
Mechanical episodes.
Yep. A little bookkeeping.
Yep.
So next week
Mm-hmm.
we play this again, or do we finish up?
That's actually a good question.
I think we finish up my game.
Yeah, so we did. Last week was supposed to be Smithy's game. This week was supposed to be this game.
Yes.
So next week it would be back to Smithy's
I think that's
game.
fair.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Though I do not work tomorrow, so if you guys want to do another game
I
this week,
unfortunately
okay.
have obligations. Not obligations.
That's fair.
I have other stuff.
That's fine.
You're busy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm choosing to do a thing. I'm not required to do a thing. It's
Yeah.
bad movie night, so
Bad movie night.
Yep.
Nice.
the weekly eat good food, watch bad movie, maybe get drunk, maybe make out with someone.
Oh my. What about
Yeah, I think
what about
Get it,
what
Tanner.
about more than one someone's?
that's happened. I'm not gonna
Get
lie.
it, Tanner.
Ooh, Tanner, you nasty.
You dirty girl. But I think Danny